Well, I just had to start because you're here and some of you are still eating anyway, so you won't mind the trivia. So, today is November 18th. Decide how to put the question. Alright, so on November 18th, 1889, the Navy launched this battleship at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. But the ship's beginning would turn out to be not nearly as famous as its ending. An explosion that sent it to the bottom of Havana's harbor in 1898. So, not even 10 years later. Triggering the Spanish-American War and giving rise to a very famous slogan. It was one of several battleships named after states. So there, your answer just got down to 50. I'm not done reading yet. Just hold your word. Over time, the Navy has developed a system sometimes ignored for naming vessels. I didn't know this. My dad was in the Navy. This is interesting. Aircraft carriers often named for great Americans, such as the Abraham Lincoln and the Ronald Reagan. I didn't know that. Amphibious assault ships are named for famous Navy ships. So, okay, so that's funny. That's like, you know, your first son is named so-and-so. You're like, you know, that's such a great name. I'm going to use it again on the second one. That would be a little confusing. Such as the Wasp and Essex. Guided missile cruisers are usually named for famous battles, such as the Ticonderoga and Gettysburg. Destroyers are named for naval leaders and heroes, such as the Farragut and the John Paul Jones. Frigates are named for heroes and distinguished members of the U.S. Navy, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard, such as the Robert C. Bradley and the John L. Hall. Ballistic missile submarines are named for states, such as the Ohio and Alabama. And the attack submarines are named for cities, such as the Los Angeles and Norfolk, or states, such as the Virginia and Texas. Other traditions include mine countermeasure ships are given names representing strength and defense, such as the Avenger and Guardian, and dry cargo ships are named for famous explorers and pioneers, like Lewis and Clark, Sacagawea. Coastal patrol boats are often given storm-related names, like the Typhoon and the Thunderbolt, and hospital ships are given names indicating care, the Comfort and the Mercy. And I would have to, you know, we had 2 hospital ships off of each coast earlier this year, and I'm trying to remember if that was one of their names. Was the Comfort one of them? Okay. All right, so question is, what was the name of this particular battleship? Kirsten?
What's the slogan?
Slogan? You know what a slogan is.
No, what is the slogan that you mentioned?
I can't tell you because it would give away the name. But the first 2 words are remember the, and that's what we're trying to do. Okay,
Right.
Mr. Leonard's got it. Maine. All right, since one of you got it, you're all winners.
We're all winners.
Okay, who doesn't want Snickers?
I do.
Why can't you?
Oh, I can't eat it. I'm allergic to peanuts.
Okay, so like anything that's even been close to a peanut?
Yeah. Milky Way. Hershey.
No, I mean like if I give you one of these, will that be a problem?
Oh, no.
So like M&M's, you can have M&M's,
Yeah.
as long as it's not peanut M&M's?
Yeah.
Alright.
I mean,
Hey, what do you want? You can do Snickers? Yeah, like last student council, like half the class, like, I don't want Snickers. What do you want, Kirsten?
I don't know. You can Snickers.
You like Snickers?
No, I hate Snickers.
Just anything but Snickers. How about Twix?
Yeah.
Isaac, do you care?
He's not picky.
He's not picky. Here's a Twix. How about you? Dad gave you one. What would you like?
I'm not
I'll
picky.
take a Snickers.
Give the Snickers to the people who aren't picky.
Give the Snickers to the people who are laughing. Alright. Okay, I don't have much else to say. I think I'll turn it over to Kirsten. So,
All right.
we'll give an update on. Oh, so, as far as you can give an update on how the apple butter thing went and any
I
other.
have some things to discuss.
Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Kirsten.
Thank you. Hi guys. So nice to see all of you again. Except for you guys, I've never met you. Never heard. Just cool. Anyways, so the Apple Butter fundraiser went pretty well, and thank you for everyone who participated. For people who did not participate, shame on you. Just this. It's okay. So I have some ideas for fundraisers. Now I brought up bingo night, but I understand that is a game of chance, and I don't think we can do that, right?
Okay, so why don't you elaborate on what you want to do?
Okay, it's a fundraiser. Bingo night. People play to play bingo. People play to
Pay to play.
Yeah, pay to play. There you go. Bingo. So that's basically the whole thing, is a bingo night.
Okay, I will have to have, I mean, either me or someone from the council needs to look into that. I know that we couldn't do raffles.
Yeah, because it's a game of chance, and bingo is considered a game of chance. So I don't think we can do that, but it was just a thought.
Well, then you have to have someone look into it then to see if that falls. Because the silent auction was fine. Those kind of things, maybe even an actual auction would be fine, I think.
Okay. We can do
And
that.
potentially, yeah.
Does anybody have a pencil or pen?
There should be some right there too,
No.
Kirsten.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, okay. Also, a father-daughter dance. Now, I'm not sure with COVID that people are going to be really, eager, especially if the cases rise. But is there any interest in a father-daughter dance?
My father doesn't have a daughter.
You can still help out. And you
He
know
has
what?
daughters, but they're not
I guess I
grown
could
ups.
cross-dress.
No,
No.
that's unnecessary. Thank you. It would be open to the public, so it would be whoever comes.
Okay,
not
well,
specifically our school.
what I think you meant by that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think you meant beyond just this assembly right here.
Yes.
I think you were thinking of other potential homeschool groups or whatever.
Yeah. Homeschool co-ops, not open to the public. People are crazy. We don't want crazy people.
Well, just people who are being invited or whatever. That helps you, that might help you with any COVID restrictions if you're restricting it to invitation only kind of situations.
Okay.
And I would just say, it is only November. I mean, I don't know what the spring will look like, but you do have considerable time if you wanted to push it out past, hopefully,
Well, yeah. I'm
beyond
not
any madness.
this
but-
one.
Yeah, I'm just trying to let everybody else, don't be discouraged from the idea just because we might not be able to do it like next week.
Well, COVID isn't going to end at New Year's, so we have to stay.
It might, you never know.
Hopefully.
Because
Hopefully
at
it
10
does.
o'clock it ends apparently, or fires up or something, I'm not sure what.
Okay. Thank you for the update.
You know, 10 o'clock they
Write
shut
that
everything
down.
down.
Right,
because-
right.
COVID ending.
So
Whenever Joe goes to bed, I'm pretty sure it when
there's
it's
COVID
done.
before, but not after, or
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so that was just an idea for interest.
Okay, I'm just gonna pipe in here and say you guys are the student council. Kirsten, first of all, I want to commend Kirsten. Kirsten is doing a really good job of taking some really good leadership in terms of putting ideas out there. But Kirsten is not the student council by herself. You guys still have the ability to give input and ideas, and she's put some ideas out there. So if you think they're a good idea or a bad idea, or if you want to jump in and be a part of it, I mean, she's not going to be able to pull off some of this stuff on her own. So if you, my suggestion is, just because Kirsten has an idea doesn't necessarily mean you have to do that. If there's an idea that you think is better and you have some discussion, Kirsten wants to have as much involvement as possible. So if there's another idea someone has and that is going to get more people involved, then
a fundraiser.
pipe up and talk about it. So, and if you like the idea of a father-daughter dance, and you know, Krista, we could probably work you in there somehow.
You'd probably help me run it.
I think you would, yeah. I mean, you could MC.
Okay,
Break
thank you,
dance or
Mr. Hill. Also, I'm sorry.
Nothing.
Okay. Also, a huge or large, but a wonderful time of getting together, playing games, and having fun as a student council. Because I understand a lot of people can't make these meetings, but people like parties.
So they might be able to manage it.
Yeah. So,
Good
any
idea.
interest, ideas?
That's a good idea.
Only invite 10 people at a time.
Well, we're Christians. We don't believe in COVID.
That's true.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, first, second of all, it said it is 25, and right now the student council is safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could double or triple and still be in this situation.
Okay.
So what would the date be for them?
Okay, I haven't looked at dates, but hold on, let me get my calendar actually. I can do that right now. Okay. So it'd probably be on a Saturday near Christmas. So the 19th or 20th. So I probably aim for the 19th, considering that's a Saturday and it's closest to Christmas, or before Christmas. It'd probably range in the afternoon and go on for a couple hours until people are content with it.
And where were you thinking of having it?
I haven't thought of that, but I was gonna ask if we could just have it in school.
My recommendation would be, you might want to get a sense of who would actually come, and if it works out better for people to come to a more central location, because this is not necessarily a very central location.
Yeah, it's not, I understand.
But I had to ask Mr. Cox about having it here and what we would need to do as far as that goes, but I mean, that's a possibility.
Okay. I do have another location that I can ask if we could use. It's in Mount Airy. So I don't know if that's more centralization for people.
Where is everybody from? I don't know.
Isn't Mount Airy like 5 minutes away?
These guys are
From here?
well, you guys can see where
No,
you're from.
it's about 45
guys from?
minutes.
I was thinking about a campsite.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So here would actually probably be better than elsewhere for you guys.
And you, how close were you to here?
I live in Baltimore, so it's about a 2 to 1.5 hour drive here.
Yeah, for us it's over 2 hours. So,
Make everybody drive to Baltimore.
I mean, I would say, I don't know, everybody could come to our house and have it there, but that's everybody driving to Ken Islands.
That's a long
I don't know.
drive.
Yeah, it's longer. Okay.
So that's why here's my suggestion is that you give a date, you give an idea of what it will be like, and get a sense of the people who actually would be interested in showing up, and then you might even give those 3 locations that you just said. It could be here, it could be
The landing grids?
at the right at the gate of the Eastern Shore, or it could be in the Baltimore area, or I guess you're saying Mount Airy.
Mount Airy.
Yeah. Well, it was just an idea. But
Well, those are the next steps to go on, because I think
Yeah.
otherwise, that might
I would
actually
like
generate.
feedback on it though. Like, I would like people to email me their locations so I can make like a pinpoint on a map, like a radius.
Oh yeah, if anybody had another suggestion even. For a
Yeah, even
location.
suggestions.
Right.
And then also date suggestions. I'm also do it like on the 12th. That's not like close to Christmas. Or as much. So probably the 19th.
Is that a Saturday?
Yes, it's a Saturday. I'm not sure about Sundays because Monday to begin with, and everybody has church, and so
Right.
Saturdays are usually best for people. We'd have contests where you can win cute stuff, probably like a stuff bear. I haven't thought that through, but you can have contests. Another fundraiser is a trivia night. Yes.
I was thinking with the Christmas thing, we could also do a silent auction in it. You could do the silent auction with it instead of doing it separately.
If you have enough people.
Yeah, if you have enough people, but,
Alright, I like that idea.
And then just think of things that ask for the people who are coming, you know, like, what type of things they might wanna, if they can make any donations to the silent auction or
Or
something like
get
that.
donation.
Yeah, or,
Yeah, give donations.
Yeah.
Have a little donation jar.
yeah.
Okay. I think depending on how many, I'm gonna set up an RSVP so I know how many people are coming, and depending on that, I'll open it to friends and family more so people can invite other people. I'm not sure if I'm gonna open it to other homeschool co-ops just because of the limitation of
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
Also, is there any other fundraiser ideas? Silent auction and auction was a really good idea. So I wrote that down. No?
What, silent auction?
No.
Any other
I-
ideas?
Oh, any other ideas?
I will again throw out there, I mean, obviously, we are not sure what the next year will look like. We're hoping that it will look a little more stable than it was last year, but we are expecting to have our expo probably in the spring again, like we had hoped to do this year, but had to postpone to the thing. So that's always historically been a time when we've tried to combine that with some sort of.
So you have the snack stand, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know this 100% sure, but it seems like Machi has dropped Machi's the Maryland Association for Christian Home Educators. They've dropped the book fair entirely.
What?
I mean, they were doing, I mean, we didn't have that the last 2 years, and it had nothing to do with COVID. I mean, they've just kind of stopped doing it. So.
Okay.
So anyway, just that's something to at least have on your radar, that it's an opportunity at least for having people coming potentially for a gathering. And I keep trying to plug the dunk tank because I think the dunk tank could just be awesome. And I'll volunteer. You can dunk me. I'd really have to see if we can get Pastor Gary to agree. But you know, $50 for me, $100 for Mr. Cox.
I mean, I can try to find a dunk tank. I mean, I'm cool with that. I like them. Okay, I brought up earlier a trivia night. It would, you pay to play. It would be open to the neighborhood, the surrounding people, whatever. I know a person who does these, and he gets a lot of money from them because people like trivia, apparently. So they.
Thank you, Kirsten.
Apparently.
Apparently. So, that would probably happen in like later in the year, but it was an idea to present.
That sounds like a good, yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay.
You could do it like a weekly or monthly thing. So then
Yeah,
everybody in the
that's it.
neighborhood and then just pass out flyers around, go door to door or something like that. Be like, we're having a trivia night, you know.
Yeah, and
Something to do.
yeah, and then we could probably.
Explain the cause for the.
Where would that be,
team.
here?
Yeah, most likely. I'm trying to find other places that I could do it, but I'm not like.
Is there like a nearby like high school gym or something like that we could use?
High schools aren't open.
Yeah, exactly. Gym.
Churches,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, would be more
Well-
likely to be.
Oh yeah.
My mother brought up the idea because the dude I know who does it gets sponsors from restaurants where he does it because people go to the restaurants and they get food and whatnot. And so she brought up the idea of going to a restaurant and doing it at a restaurant if they would sponsor it and whatnot. I don't know about COVID. I know nothing about COVID, so
I mean,
or the COVID restrictions.
It could be done by, you know, next February, and then that would have to
Yeah,
change all
I
the
mean,
plans. You know.
Here's what I would suggest you do. I think you should plan, you know, the scripture says that you go ahead and make your plans and let God direct your steps. So
Perfect.
make your plans. I mean, right now restaurants in Maryland are 50% capacity, so you know, they could be restricted back more, or they might stay at that, and that, you know, you work with what you need to work with, and if you need to modify it, you can. The other thing is you could even potentially, I don't know, you could even cater, you know, so a lot of these restaurants do catering, or you could do takeout, you pick it up and bring it here, and, and do something like that.
I like maybe the monthly idea. I like it. We could
Yep.
probably do it like twice a
You
month.
could even run a snack bar.
Oh yeah, that's
Mhm.
ingenious.
We love food.
Who doesn't?
Einstein level
Now,
thinking, you know?
What do you mean by doing the snack bar, Krister?
Hmm?
What do you mean by doing the snack bar?
A trivia
I mean,
night?
you could do a snack bar during trivia night in case
Okay.
somebody gets hungry, or you could sell
Right.
soda, or like water, bottled water.
You're only, if you're gonna do something here, the only restriction is that we can't actually quote-unquote prepare food on site without licenses. And that
Oh.
again has absolutely nothing to do with COVID, that just has to do with
Well,
food stuff. So if everything is pre-prepared,
We could
you
not
know,
sell it.
baked goods, stuff that's already packaged, all that
You
is
could donate
fine.
some
That's all
tickets,
fine.
You know.
Yeah, or what we could do is we could include it in the ticket to get in. You get a free like muffin and a free biscuit and like
oh yeah, that's.
yeah,
I like a little.
free cup of coffee or something like that.
Free roll of toilet paper.
Yeah, depending on
That will
what
get 'em
you-
here, actually,
Depending on
if
the
you do that.
ticket.
Free roll of toilet paper.
You
Yeah,
could
use
make the
jars.
tickets vary in price. So like there's one that sells with more food if you're hungry, or there's one that sells with just
Yeah,
water.
don't
And
worry.
A nickel per
Yeah,
square.
exactly.
Okay.
Quarter, you get a whole roll.
No, it's gonna be more than a quarter for
Yeah, it's $1 a roll, maybe.
Yeah.
$100 you can just pick what you want.
A penny a square, you know, it's
Eat for the week.
you can just auction off a roll.
Okay. Okay, I wrote that down. Some of it, not all of it. But yeah. Okay.
Or
What
the paper
does
option. Yeah.
food preparing entail? Because what if I brought my air fryer and just fried food? Is that preparing it? Because I didn't actually make it. I'm freezing it.
So, I have, my knowledge of this is, I was helping with this at one expo, the last expo that we had at the fairgrounds, and I know that it was still fine, like, I know, actually, that was still, we still had to get a special food handler's license for boiling hot dogs, cooking hot dogs, and like a, I mean,
Okay.
so,
We could do sandwiches.
but I think we could get away with potentially maybe like a crock pot, or, you know, something that
I mean,
you brought here and it wasn't actually prepared here.
Like if you had
Yeah.
sterno trays and you could, you know,
Right.
pre-prepared and just plop it there.
Potentially, we'd have to double check it. I just know baked goods are real safe.
I know that baked goods are really safe, but I know that at the Troop 765 does a spaghetti dinner, and we also cannot cook at the facility.
Right, so you just bring it in and.
So you bring it in, they cook,
we
they
did
have
cook
it,
one year.
well, they didn't have any, there's no facility to cook on, there's no
And-
stove.
And actually, as I'm thinking about this, I forgot. I mean, we just did something very like this at camp this year, where again, it was more of a catering type thing, but we brought pre-made food. It was warm, it was hot, and
Put it
then
in
we
trays.
served it out. So
Right.
I-
It can be done, but see,
Yeah.
we're coming 2.5 hours, keeping it hot till we get here. I
Right.
don't know.
You could just
Put it on
bring
the engine.
Yeah, strap it to the engine.
Yep.
Keep it nice and warm.
Okay. I like all of those ideas. Does anybody have a price range which they think would? Because I like the prices about ranging from the amount of food, whatever.
to come with a
So
ticket.
yeah, so a ticket. I wrote down $10 per ticket. So if we provide dinner, I was thinking around $20. It's
Yep.
doubling,
You
but
could
you also
do-
get food.
You could also do like 15 or like a few extra dollars to the ticket if they just want like a water or one beverage or something like that.
Or,
I would only do $2 because beverage usually ranges around $2.
Yeah,
So
and then-
$12 per like.
And if they want like a baked good with that, you could add like an extra dollar or
they can-
something like that.
well, you don't, you could just sell those out right there.
If you can.
If we do that, then we could do a baked good fundraiser.
Mm.
Technically, we could do it in like at our Christmas party too.
Yeah,
Just
Good.
Christmas bread.
yeah.
That's true.
I will say, well, yeah, Kirsten, you know, the Christmas bread sale has actually always done very well.
Mhm.
We also could bring back in the apple butter.
Oh yeah, we have tons.
I'm sure.
It was a lot of apples.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so also that, since it's the season, I was thinking of doing an apple butter fundraiser, but for a longer period than a week. So
Yeah.
probably like 2 weeks, because a week was really short.
I mean, we could just do it over the course of a month where you show up, and get people, and I can send it all to them individually once I get it pre-packaged and bring it from here. And I could
Okay.
explain that to them, and then I could give it all to them and go to new people
So we could probably start on December 1st and just go through
the month or
through
something
the
like
month
that.
and people order, we give it to them and people
Or at the expo or
You
something
can give
like
that as a
that.
Christmas present. I mean, that's
Mhm.
really,
At a social gathering, you could also do that.
wrap a ribbon around it and give it as a
You
gift.
could sell it in person instead of you know.
Yeah. So a lot of people were actually, what's the word? They were curious, because I found out that not a lot of people actually know what apple butter is. So my mom made a thought about opening a jar for people to try. But with COVID and the constant use of one card jar kind of gives me anyways,
It's like, here,
but
stick this fork in it, use it the last person.
Well, we're not suggesting the same spoon, Kirsten.
yeah, I
Come
know,
on.
but the multiple spoons.
Yes,
So
yes,
anyways,
yes, yes.
That's an idea.
That's an interesting thought.
You could
You guys
actually
don't have
combine
butter?
an apple butter and apple bread thing together around the Christmas time and just have,
There's a lot of apples though.
I mean, no, the Christmas bread, I mean.
Oh, okay,
Like
okay.
the Christmas bread and apple butter.
Yeah.
Or
That's-
what we could
Do
do
them
is we
together and let people order,
could,
because,
people
you know.
could pre-order as well at the place. We could just set out a sheet and be like, put your name in, put your phone number in, put your email in, and we'll email you, and we should have it by next month,
Okay.
or something like that. So you can do it in person instead of like door to door, or asking friends and family.
Yes. For social distancing.
Stand back like a foot away.
Yes, we'll drop it on your doorstep and ring the doorbell.
So,
and
how did it go? Did you get much interest from the week that you did, Kirsten?
I filled my tracker sheet with sales. So I made a bunch of money. I only had one other person participate. Now that was kind of disappointing, but I
It was only a week.
yeah, it was only a week, and I knew it was a small fundraiser, so I didn't expect a lot of people to participate. Personal. Oh. So honestly, it wasn't a bad fundraiser. That's okay.
So how much did you make from that?
I don't know. I haven't counted. I was gonna let him count since
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to count voluntarily. If I don't have to do math, I'm not going to do it, okay? So I really like that, Apple fundraiser. Any other thoughts? Oh, class trips. Because Chastity had the idea of an aquarium class trip, and I don't know if it's open, but if you guys are interested in doing that,
In Baltimore?
yep, the Baltimore Aquarium. If you guys are still interested in doing that, I'd love to make it happen because it's a really cool place.
It is a really cool place.
And if I'm not mistaken, they do have school and homeschool
Mhm.
Discounts.
days, like actual days that are designated. I know they did that last year. I don't know what they're doing this year, but
Oh, Christopher thinks that we should go to the Holocaust Museum as a class trip.
well,
I will write
It
that
would
down.
not be a bad one. I'm just saying,
It's
it's a great part of
museum,
history.
Good.
but it's kind of a downer.
it's a
It
good
is.
it's a good education.
It is a good
Also, what about the Bible Museum?
Is it still open?
Oh, we could do a class trip to the Creation Museum.
The what?
Creation
Oh, the
Museum.
Creation
Oh,
Museum would be
yeah.
awesome, and Noah's Ark.
That would be a lot of
That
money to
would
That would be a
fundraise.
lot of money.
They actually have
We
the
could
where you
just,
can,
like-
as a class, you
Yeah.
can spend the night on the Ark. They
Oh,
have that,
really?
yeah, they'll let you do that, like actually stay overnight
Uh-huh.
and get
Yeah.
special tours and stuff, so that's pretty fun.
Been there once, but it was before the
My
Ark was
grandson
built.
did that with his school class. Yeah,
I will definitely look into that.
It's like in it's Ohio and Kentucky, right?
no, it's in Kentucky.
Kentucky.
It's in
It's like on the
Kentucky.
border though.
Oh my, okay,
And
Kentucky.
there's,
There's
you
not
know,
much
you
in
can get a package deal between the ARC with transportation to the Creation Museum, and it's like a 2 or 3 day thing that you can get.
Okay.
So we can look into that, and then there's lots of Airbnbs and stuff around that area. Not a lot of hotels, but there's a lot of places, yeah.
Okay.
And I will throw out there, I mean, generally the Wilds, I don't even know what they're doing, but the Wilds has been kind of the default senior class trip. Not that you have to, but if you don't want to do the Wilds and wanted to do something like the Creation Museum, those are the kind of decisions you want to make sooner than later. And again, that's typically been for seniors. If there's a need to potentially help cover the cost by involving, we've extended sometimes those trips to juniors. So that's just something to keep in mind. And the junior takes their trip, you know, they understand either they're going to do their senior class trip a year early, or just going to have to work extra hard to get funds to do it again. But
Do you have any other ideas for senior class trips?
I mean, either that one or the Creation Museum seems nice.
the Museum of the Bible does seem to be open.
Okay,
It is.
I have heard that.
So I don't see anything on here that says that they are closed. So that definitely is
Mhm.
in play.
Okay. I don't exactly know what the Wilds are at all.
So the Wilds is a Christian camp down in South Carolina,
Oh, that's a nice place.
and many Wellspring, Walkersville senior classes have gone there. They basically have what they call their senior class camp. It's a week, and they do, you know, they have lots of activities. They have a lot of really great Bible teaching. They also have a pretty strong emphasis on music, so I think there's an element of music that's involved. They have, you know,
Ropes courses and. stuff
yeah,
like that.
it's
Yeah.
it's a pretty awesome place. I actually haven't been there myself, but I have heard a lot of wonderful things about it. So that's
I'll definitely look into that. 'Cause that sounds like a lot of fun.
right. That's a usual. It's been around $250 a person in the last couple of years, and not including, we always send at least 2 monitors, one guy, one dad, one mom, depending on who's all going. So those folks have to be covered the cost for, and then transportation, which is usually driving. We usually have someone drive.
How far of a drive?
You here, Gary?
It's about
Hey, Gary.
6 hours.
To the Wilds?
Are you in
Well,
the
not to Wilds,
kitchen?
into to
Somebody
North
calling
Carolina.
Yeah, calling you. You know it precisely. How long does it take to get to the Wilds?
Precisely?
Yeah. Well, I just figured, you've made that drive so many times, I figured you know it pretty
Yeah,
well.
13 hours, 27 minutes, and 85 seconds.
That's actually to like south part of Georgia, maybe a little.
Is it South Carolina? Where is it close?
Depends on how many stops you take.
It's south, right?
It's south, it's at least 10 hours.
13 hour, 10.
No, it's 10 hours.
And that's about the same distance driving as it is to the Creation Museum.
Community Museum's a little bit shorter, because we did that relatively recently, that's about 7 to 8. I mean, it depends on, yeah, of course,
Where
we did it with little kids, or one child. I was, sorry, a long time ago.
I mean, who doesn't love a 10-hour car ride?
I love it.
I did too. We drove down to Florida like 5 times, and it's about 15 hours, and it's great. You just drive. It's nice. It's peaceful. Nothing to do. Pretty nice. Okay, Dookie.
of Greenville.
Just outside of Greenville? That's cool.
Okay. I love Sight and Sound. Does anybody know Sight and Sound? Sight and Sound. Sight and Sound. Cool. Is that an interest? If they're open, is that an interest for a school class trip?
I love Sight and Sound. What are they, yeah, it depends on what the show is, but
Yeah.
We just went in September,
What'd you see?
and that was, we saw
What'd you
Esther,
see?
which was awesome. I do know that they had to cancel like 60 shows at the beginning of the year because of COVID, so they've been backlogged in terms of people
Trying to get in.
you know,
Yeah.
things were postponed, and so yeah, that's, and it is incredibly expensive.
It is incredibly
It is
expensive.
very expensive.
So,
So,
I'm gonna see if we can cover it, but if not, then it'd probably just come out of pocket of the people who are attending. I'm not sure though. I don't wanna do that, but, if everyone wants to do it, we'll look at it. That was an idea. Okay. Okay, anything else?
just a point of clarification, I don't think I said this at the beginning of the year. So, there is one simple rule for fundraisers.
Mm-hmm.
You put in, you get out. You do not put in, you do not get out. So, if you would like to participate, and anybody listening here or abroad, if you want to participate in a student council activity, whether it is specific to seniors or juniors or the student council as a general whole, if you are expecting to be having your way paid, i.e. that the general fund is going to help pay for your expenses, you absolutely must, no doubt about it, participate in that fundraising effort. You guys all know the story of the little red hen? Does everybody remember that from kids? It's a beautiful story. The little hen says, who wants to help me, thresh the wheat? Who wants to help me bake the bread? Who wants to help me eat the bread? And then everybody says, oh, we'll do that. It's like, sorry, you don't get to do that because you didn't help. Anyway, so that's the simple rule. So you're not barred from participating in the activity, but if you did not contribute to helping in any way in the fundraising effort, then you must pay your own way. The student council is not obligated to pay for your expenses. So that needs to be clear.
Thank you. I think that's all I have. I will have Isaiah send out an email covering all of this so you guys can have it in written form, besides this written form. So everything is clear.
All right, anybody have anything else? Any other ideas or combat? Combat. Yeah,
Feedback.
combat. Want to do combat? Feedback, ideas, thoughts? All right.
Excellent job.
Okay, meeting adjourned.